Is it really crazy to think that maybe Russia pushed this shit on purpose? Russia funded or promoted so that Free Britney was all over social media on every network? Because, bro, out of nowhere, she became a household name in like a week. No one knew about her. No one knew what team she played for. Hardly, 90% knew who the fuck she even was. That's being very generous.
Subscribe to this channel in case you are watching this channel and have not subscribed.
But let's get into topic one. Rushing out the door, all right? It has been more than a hell of a week for WNBA star Brittany Griner, but she has finally been released from a Russian prison and will be home with her family for Christmas. That's right.
Don't get me wrong, I'm happy she's home, but it's just everything else.
Now, President Biden said he's working to bring home every American wrongfully detained anywhere in the world, including U.S. Marine Paul Whelan. But is it too soon to ask the question, where is the energy for people unjustly locked up for weed right here in the good old U.S. of A? When will we release some of our own political prisoners? I'm ecstatic that Brittany will be home.
You know, the prisoners that we locked up 50-some years ago that we could literally just let out. We could literally just let them walk out on the street. All we gotta do is sign some papers. We don't gotta trade a terrorist or anything. I don't know why we would need to do that, but...
Home for the holidays, but we have to discuss, okay? So Dr. Umar, why doesn't America free its own political prisoners? H. Rap Brown, Mumia Abu-Jamal, Leonard Peltier. Are we only good at pointing out other people's messes?
I think so. I think America has a very high price on mass incarceration.
Yeah.
Private prisons are big business. Regular prisons are big business. And I think that America would much rather play global police than take care of its own business at home.
I agree with that to an extent, but I really feel like this shit just fell in Biden's lap as like a blessing. Is it really crazy to think that maybe Russia pushed this shit on purpose? Russia funded or promoted so that Free Britney was all over social media on every network? Because, bro, out of nowhere, she became a household name in like a week. No one knew about her. No one knew what team she played for. Hardly, 90% knew who the fuck she even was. That's being very generous. Now she's a household name. She's black, an athlete, gay, and a woman. So... literally every single thing that is supposed to be promoted on the left side, the Democratic side, falls into Biden's lap as a way for him to bring her home and seem like a hero. Do you think that Putin or anyone in the Russian government didn't know this and didn't know that they could get the top of the top guy for this one person that has no value to our country at all? She does nothing but plays basketball and that nobody watches. Putin knew all this beforehand. So that's why he traded and said only her for him. And he knew that Biden was so cuck enough and will do anything for the left's approval that he would do this. He would trade a terrorist, a international weapons dealer, for an athlete. Fuck anything else about her. Fuck that she's a girl. Fuck that she's black. Fuck that she's lesbian. Fuck that she's an athlete. I don't give a fuck if it's Tom Brady or LeBron James. I don't give a fuck if it's anybody. I don't give a fuck if it's Leonardo DiCaprio. Trading anybody for a terrorist? Where the fuck does that make sense to anybody? And if you say any of this to anybody on Twitter or anything, or if you even just give your opinion, you're instantly called homophobic, racist, sexist, unpatriotic, anything that they can think of to make you seem like a terrible person, when in reality, you're just logical. Who in the fuck with a head on their shoulders thinks that this was a good trade? And like, bro, and every time you say that, it's just a strawman argument. Oh, you're not happy that you got an American home? Oh, you're not happy that we're letting people out of prison? Like, that's not the point. We traded a terrorist. That is the point of what everyone's mad about. If we was gonna trade the terrorists, at least go higher. We got one person. We have hundreds, well, I don't know about hundreds, but dozens of people, dozens of Americans locked up in a Russian prison that can't do nothing. And since they're not famous, they're just gonna be left there to be forgotten about. Shit, even the Paul Whelan guy. I know he was unhonorably discharged, but then again, I don't know much about that whole situation, so I don't really care. But he still served for our country, and he's still a name that people know. We couldn't even go for him too, for a terrorist. That's what we had to settle with, was an athlete for a terrorist. That's peak America. Peak America.
Ooh, okay. Okay. Now, we had this discussion before, but it feels hypocritical that Biden can see how unjust Brittany's charge was, but not pardon everybody locked up on a federal level for a non-violent weed conviction here in America, expunge some records. What you think, Cass?
I think Brittany's in an unenviable position right now, right? Because she's been in Russia for the past, 8 months, 10 months, it seems like. She literally wore the stars and stripes on her body, representing our country. And now when she comes home, she's not just gonna have the people that's happy for her. She's gonna have people that were like, yo, my mom and dad, they served. How come they still have to, you know?
It's really not fair for Brittany. I would give that. Like, it's really had nothing to do with Brittany at all. Like, what she did was stupid. What she got sentenced was harsh. It has nothing to do with her. So for her to be the main subject on what everyone's mad about, it really, really sucks for her. I gotta come home a hero, which I don't know how she's a hero, and an enemy. I get kind of how she's an enemy, but at the same time, I don't get how she's an enemy because like she didn't do anything other than was dumb and took a weed pen to Russia, that's a whole nother subject.
I have, you know, how come they couldn't come home or nothing like that? And, you know, her being an athlete, her being somebody of a big, you know, stature and have a whole lot of platform, she's unwillingly becoming this like political prisoner when she comes back, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody's gonna look at her as the face of prisoner swaps. And none of us are experts at that, but we find ourselves to try and be experts at sports. So we want to compare it to sports and say, oh, you're trading a WNBA player for somebody who's been called the merchant of death.
I don't think you need to understand anything. It's a athlete for a terrorist. That's like, stop trying to make it seem like it doesn't matter who the fuck it is. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it's Tom Brady, LeBron, Bryce Harper, Mike Tyson. It don't matter who the fuck it is. It's a terrorist we traded for. We gave a terrorist back, a weapons dealer back to Russia. You know, the country that's at war with Ukraine. The left is so dead set on, let's support the war in Ukraine. Let's fund Ukraine. Yeah. You guys just gave Russia back a weapons dealer. How does that not click with y'all?
Bad trade.
It's a bad trade, yeah. Like nobody would make that
You guys
trade.
don't know that?
Sam, what do you think, man?
I mean, we got fleeced by the front office of Russia, for sure. I mean, Putin's like soiling himself, falling down staircases, and he's still just playing Biden here. I mean, this is crazy, you know?
Because Biden's swelling himself and falling down staircases.
And the worst part is Brittany's going to come home. She's going to get greeted at the airport by Biden. And you know he's going to tell her like a long, boring story. You know he's going to be like, let me tell you about one time. She's like, I've been in prison, please. Let me go home.
You know, other Americans, you know, like history teacher Mark Fogel and like I mentioned former Marine.
Brother of Jared at Subway.
Wait, what?
No, I have totally forgotten about that. Subway. But I mentioned former Marine Paul Whelan. You know, they're still in Russian prisons, and I'm very happy for Brittany, but it feels like we can only get people to rally around a cause when celebrity is involved. Why is that, Dr. Umar?
I'm not sure that Brittany's case is as much about celebrity on the global level as it is about the survival of the Democratic Party in Black America.
At least, I don't know how this whole video was gonna go. I thought that they'd be more on Brittany's side, but I'm so happy to see they're at least open-minded enough to be like, yes, I'm glad she's home, but come on now. That was a terrible trade. That was a terrible idea for Biden. That was so politically influenced. That was just terrible.
When we look at what happened to her, many of us have seen this happen to other political prisoners in the country, and we're pretty fed up with the situation. And I think as the Democrats get prepared for the next presidential election, given the fact that President Trump just announced his candidacy, it was important that the Congressional Black Caucus go home for Christmas with something under the tree. Brittany Griner's freedom can be that gift to Black America to try to woo them.
Not just Black America, gay America, female America, athletic female America. I don't really know that, because that probably ties into the women in America. But it was many different categories. Like, it was literally a golden pig for Biden.
Back to the Democratic Party in time for the 2024 elections.
Well, with that said,
Is golden pig the right word? It might be. It's a golden egg. I'm stupid.
In time for the 2024 elections.
well, with that said, what does this do for the Biden administration? Does it make you respect them more?
Not necessarily. No. I'm sorry, but not necessarily on my part, right? Like, it feels like Dr. Umar said, that she's throwing Black America a bone, right? It's like when it comes to the voting and what we just went through with midterm elections, they're gonna say, all right, what did the Democratic Party accomplish in the last couple of months or the last couple of years? And now they have a big shiny toy to show off and like, see, look, we went to Russia, they're in the middle of a war, there's all these things going on, and we got somebody home. The unfortunate part about it, like I said earlier, is now BG is this face of prisoner swaps. And now, you know, thankfully with the We Are BG Foundation, she's gonna continue that fight to get, you know, Americans that were wrongfully detained back home, because now she's got a story to tell.
If she's really doing that, then props to her. And like I said, like, none of this should be even hate on her. It should be hate on Biden. It's crazy that they're gonna use this as a, like, bro, Obama, he killed Osama. What Biden do? Oh, he brought home Brittany Griner. Round of applause for our big guy right behind the Oval Office. That's just so fucking stupid to me. But yeah, I'm gonna end that video there. It doesn't really seem like they're gonna say much else. They are, and you guys know that. Comment down below. I'll watch the rest of the video if y'all want me to. Please give your boy a like. If you got any suggestions, any critiques on my videos, anything you want me to see, I read every comment, so comment down below. And if you fuck with me, please give me a subscription. With that said, deuces.
My niggas working job. If you grinding, bro, you grinding when you ain't hating, get your guap. There's grown men out here with kids and they ain't never spent a dollar. You's a lame nigga with no brain, nigga. Money never made me change, nigga. I'm the same nigga. Free big talk about that cage, nigga. He a grave digger. Work the block just like a slave, nigga.